as we're getting out there and building, you know, DAC, as we huddle up, DAC is not just about earning commissions, of course, right? We don't just run a business here. We're standing in the gap for those business owners who are we need to be the bridge, right? So, um, God said he's looking for someone to stand in the gap for people, right? And he sent Jesus, obviously, for that, to atone for all of our sins, right? So when we created DAC at the Bank Breezy platform, we did so. It wasn't to squeeze money out of you as the broker. We're not charging you fees to get started. We provide everything for free. We don't charge anything to our brokers at all, and we earn only if you earn a profit. So we're not squeezing anything of you. We're serving, providing, standing in the gap to offer this opportunity. Bank Breezy, it's free to our clients, absolutely free, right? It's not free to DAC. There's a lot of money we have to invest every month in staff and systems to make sure the Bank Breezy platform can be available for everyone. So that's standing in the gap. So when we created this, we did so to make a way where there was no way today, right? And so that's what as we huddle up today, let's not forget this. Think about it. Brokers get started for free. Why? Because I've seen way too many businesses that are brokers or part-time income opportunities where the agents lose money, the reps lose money while owners make a lot. And nobody wants the reps to not make money, but there's a lot of pay to play. There's a lot of monthly purchases. There's a lot of different things out in the industry to make a business. And some people do real well in those things, but most people don't. I didn't want to have where most don't do well that we do well anyway, right? So the client, many times on Bank Breezy, you know how many offers, you know how many declines we get, number one, and then offers that we get that we never hear back from the client. That's all free work for you and for the client, right? You do free work that we don't see. You're out there talking to clients every day. We're not paying you for that, right? You're standing in the gap talking to businesses. So let's not forget that that's our role. And by doing so, it's going to be honored. All right. So the challenge is stay firm in standing in the gap. It pays off over time. It does pay off over time, but it does take time. So when I say philosophical, um, I think we're honoring God while we do this. That's my faith. That's my belief. I really do believe that. And so as we're standing in the huddle today, I just wanted to remind everybody that when you're out there offering Bank Breezy to people and offering the broker opportunity for people, you're putting it on the backs of people who believe in that, of owners of DAC and Bank Breezy who believe in that, providing all this stuff free of charge, complimentary. I won't say free because it's not free to us, but it's complimentary to the broker, complimentary to the customer. And so as I go through a couple offers we have right now, thanks to the Bank Breezy team, these are offers, but we get a lot of renewals, the customer doesn't take it, or we get a lot of offers, the customer doesn't take it. We're still working free. A lot of declines where we work with 20 different lenders trying to get an offer, it's declined. We're willing to do that complimentary for your clients, right? And for any clients that you can bring us apart. So stand in that gap. Here's a couple stories. I got a couple, and then we'll go through a challenge and a little pro tip. Hospitality company, broker Tebin McDowell. Tebin, great job. This is a hospitality company out of North Carolina. They needed working capital for a renovation project right now. They're approved for an SBA loan, but guess what? The money's not being issued. They can't wait any longer for government to open. They came to us. We got them $250,000 core rate with 25% prepayment discount, or a $250,000 12-month 100% prepayment discount. The core rate for 25% prepayment discount is a little bit less expensive, right? They're paying less, but if they pay it off early, they only get a 25% discount. The other one, they pay a little bit more. So this quarter, and by the way, they're taking the money. It's $250,000 at a 1.27 core rate for 12 months, to $250,000 at 1.32 core rate for 100% prepayment discount. They're taking the 100% prepayment discount because they think their SBA money is going to come through. They'll pay off the advance from us, and they'll only pay $5,000, $6,000 in interest. on that $250,000. Are you kidding me? No collateral required. So if you know anyone right now who's got an SBA, who's standing in the gap for these people? We are. Tevin McDowell reached out to his client. Bank Breezy team went to work, found the best offer. We're all standing in the gap for this hospitality company out of North Carolina that's waiting on their SBA loan that can't get it right now. We got you covered. We got your back. Done. A mobile mechanic out of Georgia. Sharon Russell's the agent. I think Sharon's in your team, Matthew. Great job. Great job, Sharon. 35,000. This is a third renewal flex rate. The fight goes below 550 on this client, below 550. But because they've gotten a couple of renewals from us in the past, we were able to help them. Why do they need money? They've already gotten some money. Well, they had some slow months. They had a slow month, which means they're they're having trouble meeting some needs. We got them funded within 2 hours of the renewal request acceptance. 2 hours. Congratulations, Sharon Russell. Congratulations to that mobile mechanic out there. $35,000 within 2 hours. That's pretty darn cool. And that $250,000 just came in yesterday because Wade told me about it. And look, a day later, we already got him a $250,000 SBA. I'm tapping my fingers if you're not watching video. Even if the government is open, it's not fast money. That's not fast money. So there's a couple stories of today for all of you. Couple of many. There's a couple stories of today for all of you. So standing in the gap is what we're doing. I put some notes down here of our pro tip. So the pro tip is the philosophy. Take the philosophy of your responsibility. All right. It's taking the responsibility of your clients, that you stand in the gap for them and help them. You stand in the gap. Tevin stood in the gap for his client who already had an SBA approval, but it's not coming. So he stood in the gap, said, I got your back. I'll find a solution for you. If you're the captain of a ship, you find solutions. You make sure all the life jackets are on board. You make sure you've checked out the weather patterns. You make sure you've checked out your fuel if you've got a motorboat. You've made sure all your lights work in case you're stuck out there at dark. You got to make sure all kinds of things beyond just getting from point A to point B, right? Business owners are worried about 1,000 things, but they may not be worried about how to get funds next month for a profit idea because they don't even think about that. You stand in the gap, help them open those eyes, help them open the eyes that, hey, you've got opportunity you could pursue. If we can get you the money, what would you do? Hey, you got eyes, write that down. Hey, you got opportunity to pursue. If we gave you money, what would you do? They all have I have opportunity to pursue. Tyler and I had a great meeting yesterday about something we're building out for all of your future. It's going to be spectacular what it's going to do for the Bank Breezy brand and for all of your broker position. It's going to take us time to build it out, but we're on to something that's going to be game changing in this industry. And there's always opportunities to do. If we gave you the money, what would you do? Or pursue, if we gave you the money, what would you do? That is standing in the gap, helping them, right? Let me go to my notes. Okay. By the way, you know my faith. You know I'm a Christian. You know I believe in Jesus Christ. You know believe God had to justify through his son Jesus for all of the sins of the world. That's what I believe. So that justifies all of us, right? We all are forgiven of that sin. So Jesus stood in the gap. He's asking us to stand in the gap for others, pray for others, lift others up, care about others, serve others. Whether you believe in that or not, doesn't matter. I believe in it. I mean, it does matter. It does matter to me because I believe the gospel's real. Good news is real. And I believe that's important for all of you to know for your own sake. But the fact that I believe it, even if you don't, means I subscribe to biblical practices in this business. Otherwise, we could charge a big fee and I wouldn't have trouble sleeping at night, right? We wouldn't be servant leaders. We'd be salesy leaders and making more money and more money and more money and grabbing, right? We're serving first. We don't mind making a ton of money for providing great service, right? So here's the challenge. Stand in the gap for your clients. Don't just sell them, serve them. For your teammates, don't just expect things out of them. Encourage things out of them. Encourage things into them. For your prospects, don't just pitch. Educate on the Bank Breezy. Be willing to bear some of the costs to create someone else's opportunity. The cost of your time, cost of your encouragement, the cost of your thinking, the cost of your mindset toward them, right? That's how you build trust with your clients. That's how you build trust with your brokers. And that's how you build a legacy, right? So we're building a business that's going to be long standing. So your close here, your challenges as you go into your day, remember this: we're not just brokers, we're bridge builders. We're not just closing deals, we're opening doors. And when we stand in the gap for others, God's going to stand in the gap for us, bless us. You know, you plant a corn seed in the ground, you don't turn that into a corn plant farmer. All you did was put the seed in the soil. God takes that seed and turns it into a corn plant, right? You plant an apple seed. You didn't make the apple tree. You just put the seed in the soil. You put the seeds in the soil and do it and standing in the gap with the right intentions. God will bless all your conversations. God will bless you with harvest. God will bless you tenfold for putting the proper seed in the right soil out there, not with the negative intent of, I got to make a commission. I got to make a commission. It's not going to be blessed. But when you go out there with the right intent of, I'm standing in the gap, I'm offering services, I'm offering to serve these business owners to help them get the funds if it's the right fit, or if not, I'm going to tell them not to take it. Right? I'm going to do the right thing for my brokers. I'm going to encourage them. I'm going to help them. I'm going to encourage them. I'm going to help them. If they're not doing it right, I'm going to bring it to their attention. If they're not attending the huddles, I'm going to ask them why and let them know the importance. If they're not going through the trainings regularly, if they're not practicing, if they're not having conversations, I'm going to fulfill my leadership responsibility. Just like if I'm the captain of a boat and someone's not wearing a life jacket and we're going down, I'm getting a life jacket on them. Just like that, I'm going to take care of my brokers in the same way. I'm going to encourage them. I can't require anyone put the life jacket on, but I can certainly recommend it. I'm going to stand in the gap. So the challenge is go out and remember these things, live that truth. Every conversation is an opportunity for duplication of brokers or duplication of an application, right? And they all ripple effect away with referrals. So we got to serve, stand in the gap as we're serving, and that includes all the leadership we need to do. That's all we got to do. You do that, you're being a servant leader. That's all I have for you today.